Hey everybody, Amish Shah here. Thank you so much for joining us on this session. So let me introduce myself real quick. I'm a pretty successful Inc. 500 entrepreneur, a metaphysical explorer, and what I like to call a reality hacker. Now, I'm going to be getting into a little bit of details of what a reality hacker really is in just a bit. And I just want to say thank you for joining me on this call. And there's so many of you that are jumping on like by this second, like hundreds and hundreds of people. So this is amazing. So thank you, really, thank you for showing up for this encore presentation of Project Yourself. Now, this big secret is going to empower you. And this big secret is kind of something that's interesting. You see, on the left over here, we have the ancient symbol from Egypt, which is the Eye of Horus. And on the right hand here, we have the brain. Now, what do these two have in common? Well, let's take a look. Let's go a little closer. Now, this is a real picture of the human brain on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, it's the Eye of Horus. You see the similarity there? Well, it's not just a coincidence. We're going to get into this in just a second. And you see this picture of this tattoo on my back? It's of an ancient 12,000-year-old symbol known as the Sri Yantra. So why am I showing you a picture of a symbol on my back? And why am I so caught up over this like symbol? Well, because everything I have achieved in my life, from founding multi-million-dollar companies to starting my own archaeological foundation to meeting my soulmate and having the chance to help thousands of people's lives like literally transform. And I credit it to this one symbol. Now I'm going to get back to all this in just a second. We have different perspectives in life, but we all know one thing. We all know that we have human potential, and we know kind of like how the world works. You already know that there's more to reality than meets the eye, and you can feel this limitless manifesting power kind of like bottled up inside of you, just waiting to be uncorked. And you're hungry to give up and live up to your highest potential, so you can really just enjoy more of what life has to offer and give back to your loved ones or this great big rock that we're all living on. And that's the reason you're on this training session with me today. I want to share with you like this little known truths, basically, about the world that we live in. Some hidden phenomenon, some dormant human powers used by some of history's greatest leaders and visionaries and entrepreneurs to spark that innovative change, those changes that cause ripples, right? This thing is going to open the doors to your greatest personal and professional life, just like they have been for me. And you'll be able to use a lot of this wisdom to supercharge your manifesting and your visualization and your manifesting kind of, creation mode and turn you into an unstoppable, reality-bending superhuman. And again, it really starts with this one symbol. But first, a warning. You see, everything that, if you've already got the hang of manifesting a little bit, or you already have your own kind of like mind, body, spirit practices for elevating your life, you're going to need to kind of open your mind a little bit even wider and take in what I'm about to show you. And you've got to be the kind of person who wants to play on a bigger level and a bigger game and a bigger impact in your life, or a lot of this wisdom is just going to get lost. More specifically, this session is extremely crucial to you at this very moment if you can feel a sense of urgency in yourself and the world around you. And here's what I mean by that. Maybe you're picking up the world around you, you can see that it's shifting like this world. It's shifting at an unprecedented rate, right? Maybe you can see that millions and millions of people worldwide are kind of like waking up and challenging existing systems, from financial to political to medical to social to everything. And many of us are opening our minds and breaking those long-standing taboos. And we're even reinventing our own lifestyles, questioning our own beliefs, and adopting more of these kind of like integrated holistic worldviews that blur the line that kind of is between science and spirituality. Maybe the sense of urgency also comes from knowing that you still have some work to do on yourself. Maybe you can ride this wave of change and contribute to its momentum. Or maybe there's just some still like personal barriers holding you back from thinking bigger, some limiting beliefs or outside circumstances, from getting to where you need to be in your career or relationships or health or happiness. And maybe like so many people out there, your ability to manifest is still inconsistent at best, and it's frustrating. And it's just simply frustrating. And if you can resonate with any of what I just said, then you're about to discover this power to elevate yourself and your loved ones to this new playing field, which, by the way, I promise is the single most important thing you can do to be of service to yourself and the planet in these exciting times. Now, just want to check in here. You guys still here? Okay, cool. First, I really want to thank each and every single one of you, really, for being with me on this session. Now, just to remind you, this training session is all about how you can harness specific ancient technologies, natural phenomenon, and dormant human powers. And these aren't just any powers. They are used by many of the world's most important leaders and visionaries and even past civilizations, past and actually even present. So I'm going to be getting into some of this really interesting kind of combination here. We're even going to dig into some things such as like bending the laws of reality and probability and taking a look at what is considered possible and impossible for a human being to accomplish. Now, the reason why we want to do this is because we want to see massive change. We want to see this massive impact around us, right? That we can transcend ourselves beyond just our normal levels of creativity or productivity or intuition and empathy with each other and the world around us. In other words, this training session is about showing you how you can overcome every block that has ever held you back from realizing your true nature as a being of like serious, absolute, infinite power within yourself. Seriously. And more, on a more personal note, in this session, I'm going to be showing you sort of my bizarre, weird rags to riches story. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how I went from a broke kid and, kind of selling candy and newspapers and getting in trouble to where I am today. So you can learn exactly how I stumbled upon this wisdom and exactly how you can use it to kind of really change your life and manifest what you want. Remember all the stories of ancient gods you used to read about as a kid? How Aphrodite could make any man fall in love with her, or how the Egyptian god Ra could create life, or how the god Thor controlled thunder and lightning, right? All these like really ancient stories. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to learn, how to become like this mythical being, but what will happen is you're about to be reprogrammed on a conscious and a subconscious level. To harness the superhuman powers and abilities you never knew you had, you will actually get to take a peek of under the hood of reality, like in itself. And you're going to discover specific universal patterns and phenomenon hidden in like plain sight every single day that you may previously have only noticed like kind of erratically, like what we call synchronicities and coincidences. Well, I've put them all together, and I've made them into something called reality hacks. And you can use these reality hacks in your life for mind-blowing outcomes. We'll then explore the existence of an unspoken, inner circle. Now, not like, Freemasons or Illuminati or anything weird like that. I'm talking, we're going to go into like successful entrepreneurs and visionaries and game changers and celebrities and authors to see exactly how they work outside of the boundaries of normal life. So we're going to be doing some really, really cool stuff. In fact, later on, I'm even going to take you through a live mind exercise that's going to help you experience the effects of your dormant creation powers. And this is going to happen like right on the spot. So really, you want to stick around for this because this is mind-blowing. We get the most incredible results just from this exercise alone. So it's going to be amazing. This is like the go-to tool I use whenever I need to make a big business decision or whenever I need more creativity, clarity, or inspiration. Now, I sent a lot of you on the call today a PDF, and I hope you've had a chance to download that PDF and check it out and actually have some time to review it and put in some information. Now, if you haven't, it's no big deal. We're still going to actually go through the exercise. But for those of you that did go through the PDF, this is going to be really amazing for you guys. And in case you're wondering, no, the answer is no. This isn't like another one of those secret clones. You're not going to see any of the redundant, rehashed, diluted law of attraction or goal-setting advice you'll find in the typical mainstream books and seminars and trainings and things like that. Because I know that if you're like me, then you want to be ahead of the pack. You don't want to be spoken down to. And most importantly, you want life strategies that actually transform and transcend your life instead of the chest-beating stuff that gives you kind of like those fake temporary highs and not much else. So pay attention and close your other browser tabs and log off of Facebook, turn off your phones, and pay laser-sharp attention to what I'm about to tell you. You're going to thank me when I'm done with this. Please, it would be amazing. And do me one more favor. What you're about to learn here is extremely powerful. And promise me that you're going to use it to do good things for yourself and for the planet. And promise me you won't use it to screw anyone over or manipulate people or cheat a system at the expense of others, because Peter Park's Uncle Ben gets quoted way too often on this, and he says, with great power comes great responsibility. Okay? So let's get started. Since you're going to be with me for the next hour or so, let me tell you a little bit about myself. This weird cross between a hard-hitting serial entrepreneur like Richard Branson and an adventurer like Indiana Jones and a spiritual explorer like Deepak Chopra. See, that's me with my wife and my daughter. I'm 33 years old, and I've made quite a few $1,000,000 over the years, and I run a bunch of online businesses. I recently started a foundation that travels to ancient cities and ancient ruins around the world, like Dwarka and the Egyptian pyramids and Machu Picchu, and what we do is we go out and we unearth ancient technology. I'm also an avid researcher of mind science, like meditation and visualization, and well-being science, like flotation tanks and nootropics, down to the more esoteric stuff like astral projection, manifesting, and even, alien technology. In fact, I just came back from a treatment, an Ayurvedic treatment, and I had Panchakarma detox, and I can tell you I had some very interesting experiences with all this stuff. So I'm basically hell-bent on exploring just what the heck we're really capable of as human beings, and how far down does the rabbit hole really go? I'm crazy grateful to be living as what I see, my greatest life. I do pretty well for myself. I have all the time in the world I want to go on adventures or anywhere in the world, or just cuddle up at home with my wife and my daughter. And I have an online tribe that supports and follows my adventures, and I get to spend all my time working on projects and growing businesses that I am truly, truly, truly passionate about. So here's where it gets really funny. If you're used to watching your average webinar or video sales letter or whatever presentation, you'll know that a lot of gurus actually start their presentations this way. They're going to tell you all this flashy stuff they have and all the amazing stuff that they've done because they want you to turn green with envy, right? They want you to feel inadequate with what you have and what you are now, so you're more likely to give them your money later. Well, that's not what I'm about. And I want you to open your eyes and let me give you the sincere, respectful, transparent truth of why I'm showing you the kind of life I have. It's because if you're not living to what you think is your perfect life yet, I want you to open your eyes and realize that I'm not any smarter, I'm not any luckier, and I'm not any more special than you. Because the only difference between me and you is this. I've pinpointed right down to the minor details exactly how to tap into these dormant creation powers that are in each and every single one of us and bend reality itself. I've learned how to harmonize myself with the world around me and create outcomes in my favor, whether it's in money, business, health, love, whatever, right? I've learned that the secret to harnessing the forces beyond me, just like what many of the planet's most accomplished transformational people have been doing for centuries, is the same exact thing. But more on them in just a second. We're going to talk about these forces in a second. First, I want you to know that in no way is my life perfect. I still screw up. I still have my bad days. Not all my business ventures are successful all the time. And anyone who says they're happy and successful all the time is lying. The key here is this. Whenever I do have a problem, the solution comes to me that much easier than it was before. And things just seem to kind of fall in place for me. And if I want or I need something, I know how to make the world around me shift. So I know how to make the world around me shift so that I meet the people I need to. The things I need come to me. And the path that I need to follow falls into my lap. What you're going to learn here is not about becoming perfect. It's about empowering yourself and increasing your odds in business or in love or in health or in life. And try to get as close to perfection as you possibly can. And you know what? I know for a fact that you can do this too, because anyone can. It's in every single person. And you're probably going to ask yourself, how? Well, the key lies in knowing how to creatively reimagine what you know as your reality. And here's a study on Forbes magazine. It says multiple creativity studies suggest creating our reality requires detaching from it. Think about that for a second. When I was a younger boy, I started realizing this, and this is what I started picking up on. And how can I be so sure about this? Well, I started out at rock bottom. I was this weird kid, weird, unhappy kid. By the time I hit around 4 years old, I was kind of weirdly obsessed with death. And I kept wondering what things were like on the other side. I really didn't like my life too much because of my household circumstances and what was going on. It was always just kind of like dark. So I always wondered, what's it like on the other side? Does anyone really love me? And what exists beyond like this reality that I am facing? And because I was so close to the other side, I kind of like started getting information. I started like really understanding what it's like to create your reality. So when I was 10 years old, we grew up so poor that I was forced to go door to door selling newspapers and candy just to help out with the bills. My dad was pretty negative, and he was just like, there's no money, we can't afford this, we can't do that. Everything revolved around money, from food to family events to like everything. It was just crazy. Whereas my mom was just positive, and she was all about keeping the love inside the family and spreading the love, and everything was just like, let's stay home and hang out with each other and play board games. Speaking of my mom, she played a huge part in my passion for human potential and the power of looking inward. When I was around 10 years old, she'd give me books to read by like Tony Robbins and Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie and Les Brown, and even like some ancient scriptures that she's like read to me and explain to me the stories about them. And she even taught me meditation and a bunch of other exotic like kind of mind empowerment rituals that have stuck with me to this very day. And when we got internet, I mean, she sends me emails, and she still does, about positive stuff and all this like, these forwards, and I just feel so grateful. So I wasn't exactly like other kids. I actually got really deep into this mind, body, spirit stuff. And because my life was so far from where I wanted it to be, I spent years actually trying to put all this wisdom to work for me in my life. And, well, that's when I realized that there's a lot of powerful wisdom out there. And that's when it comes to, when it comes to success and abundance and well-being and spiritual fulfillment, so much of it is misinformation and like pseudoscientific fluff. I wouldn't say that every guru or teacher or spiritual leader out there is trying to trick you. Like, that's far from it. But the truth is, a lot of us, even those who teach this stuff, are unable to actually separate fact from fiction. And so what happens is you end up with solutions that don't work, such as, you've all heard of this, and I'm not downplaying The Secret by any means. I'm sure by now you know the whole act of manifesting, or if you haven't seen The Secret, it's about how to use visualization to manifest what you want. And sure, that works, but that's not the secret. And then maybe there's the things that you've seen, how meditation can so easily get diluted. And some people think, having a transcendent experience is as easy as closing your eyes and counting to 3. Seriously? What about, out-of-body experiences? Well, good luck finding a coach who can show you how to do it consistently. In the world of success and goal setting, you always see overpriced and poorly maintained masterminds that don't leverage on every single participant's strengths and experiences. And then there's superficial networking events and just, business cards and unauthentic human beings and unauthentic connections. And then even skills like multitasking. This one gets way misunderstood. When those like gurus or whoever tell you to always focus on like that one thing, even when some of the world's most successful people are in fact juggling multiple high-impact impacts and like ventures and businesses and whatever, they're managing it at the same time. Well, I spent my childhood years devouring as much of this information as I could possibly find, and I was curious about everything. And when I was 15 years old, my whole life got turned upside down. And because of skateboarding, like instead of like skateboarding or starting a band like other kids my age, I got into computer hacking, as in I seriously got into computer hacking. I was hacking into all kinds of sites just for the heck of it. And then in 1996, when I was 16 years old, I was home alone, sitting on the toilet, when the doorbell rang. And so I look through this little window in front of my house, and I see a bunch of cop cars and unmarked cars in front of my house, probably like 10 of them. And there's 5 agents in front of my house, and I'm like, oh my God, this can't be real. Like, what's going on? This can't be happening. But it was. They open up my house, they come in, they turn my house upside down. And later, I had to go to court. I had 19 charges against me. And, you know, what the judge told me in court that day, on my hearing day, that's what really left a mark on me forever. He said, if you can use what you did for good, you can change the world. Thankfully, all I got was 2 years of probation and nothing really crazy happened. So no jail time or anything like that. And this was like a huge wake-up call for me, because I was just like, where did I just go? What did I just create? What have I just made happen? And weird things kind of started happening in my life at that moment. This was around the same time my mom came back from a trip from India. She went to India because of all the stuff that was happened to me, and because my father was out of a job for almost 2 years at this point, and we didn't have any money, and she went out there, and she started showing me how to use this kind of ancient symbol called the Sri Yantra, which I'm going to tell you about more in just a second. So what happened? Well, I had my first out-of-body experience at the age of 17, and I started my first business at the same time. I found my life partner at the age of 19. I got a job earning $120,000 per year by 21. I made my first $1 million by the time I was 25, and I started an Ancient Explorers Foundation and nonprofit organization by the time I was 32. And I've made quite a lot of money along the way, and I've done very well for myself. And I didn't actually realize what was actually happening. I thought to myself, what the heck was going on? Was I insanely lucky, or was it sheer willpower, or was it something else? And I have to admit, at the beginning, I couldn't put the pieces together. I had no clue. And if you had told me that it all stemmed from this one symbol, well, I would have seriously said, no freaking way. Here's the thing. Do you know that feeling you get when you know that you can be more than what you are and what you are like as a human being? As if something is missing. That feeling of a longing, a pain, of an itch that you just can't scratch. Well, I've spent years searching for ways to elevate my life and overcome my family's shortcomings. But like I said, a lot of the mainstream life and success advice just didn't work for me. All it did was give me fake temporary highs. And so I began studying fringe stuff, phenomenon, forces, universal laws that are as real and undeniable as gravity, or relativity, or the air you breathe. Stuff that the average person doesn't even know exists. Like the kind of mind-blowing quantum physics that makes you question the very nature of the universe itself. Antimatter, incredible mathematical coincidences like the golden ratio, sacred geometry used in some of history's greatest pieces of architecture, and buildings, auras projecting the human consciousness across space and time, advanced psychological tricks to create instant empathy with people, yoga, mantras, sound vibrations, superhuman abilities like those that are inside of Limitless, and body hacking with nootropics, and, even down to pineal glands and things in your brain that quite literally control your consciousness and what you perceive as reality. And I discovered that the spiritual sages, yogis, shamans, monks, whatever you like to call them, have been perfecting the process of meditation to induce deep states of, meditation states for thousands of years. And by putting these forces together, we've discovered, through the Mind-Body Medical Institute, which is affiliated with Harvard University and several Boston hospitals, that meditation induces innumerable biomedical physical changes within your body, commonly known as the relaxation response. Now, I know you guys have probably heard of this stuff, and you've heard about all the studies, about consciousness and about, meditation. There are such positive effects that are happening, and these results are really just staggering. So I want you to take a look at this image. On the left, like I mentioned before in the beginning of the webinar, is the Eye of Horus, and on the right is the human brain. Now, is there something that the ancients knew that we don't know? Well, getting back to this, the pineal gland is located in your brain, right? I started studying the human endocrine system after I found out about this, and was blown away by some of the facts that most people don't know anything about. You see, There are glands in your brain and in your body, the pineal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, the main ones, that secrete fluids and hormones into your body to regulate various human functions, including metabolism, growth, development, tissue function, sleep, and mood, and sex drive, and basically everything. So what this means is that those glands quite literally bring you the reality that you think of as reality. And so by tapping into the powers of these particular glands in the brain, you can unlock hidden powers within yourself. If we only use a small percentage of our brains and we're able to build, operate, and destroy the whole material world we live in, imagine what lies beyond that in the other large percent. I've read numerous studies and I've read numerous ancient texts that when you can master these glands and control how they function within yourself, and you can control these glands with each other, you open up a new world of reality, and you open up a new sense of being, with the ability to do things we think of as like supernatural or superhuman. And the key to unlocking this extra part of our brains and reality, well, open up your mind nice and wide, because I'm about to show you how that key is hidden within this mysterious 12,000-year-old symbol known as the Sri Yantra. It's an ancient symbol. We think it's 12,000 years old. We think it may go back even further. The Sri Yantra is the symbol of everything. It's an ancient drawing used for meditation and concentration. It's been revered by many for thousands of years, by scientists and mystics. And I've been studying and using it almost all of my life. In fact, remember that book that I was talking about with my mom, that she brought it back and she started practicing these rituals, and I was like, oh, what's going on? What are these rituals? Well, the Sri Yantra was found in that book that she was using. And you know what's funny about that? It changed our parents' lives, my parents' lives completely. And it helped me to start manifesting. After that, I started finding out some more synchronicities. What's so amazing about the Sri Yantra and the incredible claims behind it is the studies that surround it. Yes, I said studies. Spiritual masters have written countless books about it. Farmers are claiming that displaying it near their crops gives them better yields. Some say a person can look at it and look into it and discover their ultimate destiny. And a few years back, an Indian researcher proved that it was used to engineer the Egyptian pyramids. Yes, I said it. It was used to engineer the Egyptian pyramids that we think of as this massive trait. Now, the triangle, the golden ratio within this triangle, is actually what does this. Instances of the Sri Yantra are by no means isolated to ancient times either. This geometric pattern can literally be found everywhere. This massive formation was actually built by Bill Witherspoon along with a group, a small group of friends. It took over, I think it was 10 days, and it covered 40 acres. And the central point, they had the bindu, this dot that's in the middle of the Sri Yantra. And he realized that the Sri Yantra was an ancient, powerful technology. You see, after the completion of this, the energy of the area and the quality of the actual physical environment improved. People reported feeling energetic peacefulness. Now, these are studies you can find these studies online, right? I'm going to be talking about more of these studies. And the soil became more resilient. It showed increased fertility and resiliency. And the valley started seeing rainfall it's never seen before, increased vegetation, and even animal sightings that have never been seen there before. It was as if the design of the Sri Yantra had started the ball of creation in motion in that kind of dry, remote Oregon valley. So check this out. Even Hollywood has made movies about this symbol. Yeah, Hollywood. The Last Mimsy. In the movie, the kids gain superhuman and supernatural powers from this thing. And this thing came from outer space. And there was a Sri Yantra on it. Think about that. That's pretty interesting, right? Now, you think these are all kind of coincidences? You think that these are nothing but just ancient myths and stories? Well, not too long ago, Russian scientists from Moscow University used an EEG to see whether staring at the Sri Yantra actually does anything to a person. And what they found was that just by looking at it, the Sri Yantra induces altered cerebral activity in your mind, and it leads you into a state of meditation or self-hypnosis. Yes, there's a study that proves this. There's a study that proves that what you're looking at, when you look at the Sri Yantra for long enough, it starts creating these 3D images, kind of like things start popping out. Now, you can practice this. We're going to be going through this exercise in just a little bit. That 3D popping out of that symbol is your brain creating reality, and it's perceiving reality of something that doesn't really exist. Think about that for a second. That's what it's doing. Now, the next awesome part about this is if you have heard about Om. I know a lot of you have probably heard about that word Om, or that symbol Om. Well, Om is a very popular sound. They say it's the sound of creation, and it's 3 Sanskrit letters. Well, the symbol of Om is actually found within the Sri Yantra, and this is the symbol of Om. As you're about to see, there's much more to it than this. This is just one tiny example of how everyday things we consider to be fringe are in fact being proven to be legitimate forces that affect our lives in very real ways. The question is, are you going to let other people find it and use these things first while you sit on the sidelines, or are you going to take initiative and become one of the pioneers? Diving into all of this stuff has helped me realize there's much more to reality than meets the eye. There's more to us than 99% of us will ever really realize. So when I started seeing the potential in this, which was soon after my incident, I committed the following years of my life to answering just one question. How can I reinvent reality? And I wanted to know, how can I harness all these unknown powers, separate fact from fiction, use the ones that work to create anything that I want in my life, in my business, in my passions, in my health, in my relationships, to sculpt my own perfect version of reality. And when I began finding the answers to this question, I started applying more of the out there stuff in my life, or as I like to call them, reality hacks. My life started changing in mind-blowing ways. For instance, I started closing clients without even trying, and this business that I created, kind of on a whim, created $1.5 million almost out of nowhere. Around the same time, I started getting downloads after meditating, which showed me incredible, profound truths about my true nature and my physiology, and even other people. And after years of trying and failing, I was very quickly able to lose 18 pounds and drop over 100 points of my cholesterol. And just to update this, actually, sorry, I have to update this. Like 150 or 175 points now, so I'm under 200, and I don't know, I just feel amazing. So this system is amazing, and it's awesome. So I just had to say that because I just got the results back. And I realized I was more creative, I was more intuitive, and there was many more of those crazy synchronicities that began appearing in my life, like bumping into people and circumstances that just rocketed me towards my goals. And everything that I was doing just became deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper within myself. And so in the next few moments, I'm going to share with you these exact steps I took to achieve all of this and more. But first, I want to share something rather mind-blowing with you. You see, on my path to applying these reality hacks of my life, I've discovered that countless leaders, movements, and civilizations throughout history have also had their own methods and tools for tapping into the fabric of the universe and transforming themselves. In the course of history, we have so many of these cultures around the world. And what's funny is that a lot of the power has been sitting under our noses for like the longest time, for centuries. And the media and everything, this world that we created was created, and that's all we actually know. So we never actually let ourselves go beyond that point. And I know I'm being a little cryptic here, so let me just show you some examples of what I'm talking about. I hope everyone's enjoying this information because we're just getting started. We're about to get in there. Ready? Okay, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He used to use something called transcendentalism. And, you know, some people might say I'm being a little too optimistic by saying all of us have these superpowers and, you know, they're just lying dormant within us. But remember, this is way back in the 1800s. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a legendary thinker and writer. And he's talking about transcendentalism. It's about realizing that the key to your full intellectual and spiritual potential is by conditioning yourself to become self-reliant by acknowledging your inner greatness and knowing that we are all divine. That's what Ralph Waldo Emerson said in the 1800s. And we have Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, one of the world's most brilliant inventors. Well, guess what? He had this phenomenon called sexual transmutation to maximize his productivity, creativity, inspiration. He rejected sex his whole entire life and never slept with one girl. And he admitted that he used this energy to invent crazy things. He also mentioned on several occasions that he studied ancient scriptures to tap into the realness of life. Think about that for a second. Then we have Elias Howe. He invented the sewing machine. Guess how he invented the sewing machine? He said he used lucid dreaming, and it let him see the obvious. He saw He saw an arrow go through a tent, and it got strung through a bunch of tents, and there he had it. In his mind, he saw, he quite literally had the sewing machine. It's pretty interesting. Thomas Edison, famous for his naps, he used hypnagogia, the state of hanging out to consciousness while asleep. Well, you want to dream like Edison? Well, he would take a cat nap in a chair with steel balls in his hands. And as he drifted off and relaxed, the ball, or one of the balls, or two of the balls, would drop, waking him up, and voila, more often than not, he actually had his best next idea. Then we had Mahatma Gandhi. He used satyagraha, the philosophy of satyagraha, which is using your soul force. It was the non-resistant, the non-violent resistance that he used towards the British, colonization. It led to the independence of India, and it was inspired Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King. It was that kind of, what made him think about that? Like, think about that, What practices in your community or line of work that are you doing that's changing things? What kind of reaction do you think you'd actually set off if you could do this, if you can create this? Well, this next one's pretty crazy. So take it with an open mind. You see, towards the end of World War II, the community of Hindu pundits, which means scholars, got together to perform a peace ritual known as a yajna, where they would chant and make and kind of infuse offerings with positive intentions, with the goal of creating order out of disorder. The number of participants in the yajna was off the charts, like it was thousands upon thousands of people. Now, they call this the Maharishi effect, which was really, really interesting. And the Maharishi effect, they say, was specifically created to end the Cold War and World War II, and all the crime rates and everything has ended. Now, the group doesn't exist anymore, but they're saying it was because of that whole group that stuck together at that one time. So what does that mean about human beings and how we can change reality? Interesting, right? We started going a little bit more down the rabbit hole here. Napoleon Hill, I mean, this guy was, ahead of his time. He had a lot of out there kind of ideas, and he had mental meetings with invisible counselors and subconscious mind tricks, and he also used what was called sexual transmutation. It's getting interesting, right? Probably sounds like weird alchemy, but as you'll see, it yields like incalculable power. Then we have modern day people like Tim Ferriss. Man, he's like the serial entrepreneur and modern day Napoleon Hill. He hacks virtually every aspect of life. He discovered how you can reach your full genetic potential in 6 months and learn to and speak 5 languages, and he's a world record holder in tango and a national champion in kickboxing. Then we have Oprah Winfrey, who used visualization techniques on her talk show. She talked about the power of the subconscious mind and goal-focusing techniques, and she says the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Interesting. Eckhart Tolle, author of A New Earth. He was suicidal and depressed in his 20s, and he had an inner transformation. He detached himself from himself, and he tapped into the infinite tranquility of the universe in itself, and kind of see the power in just stillness, and the power of now, and the power of just being in the present. So, how would this change things the next time you're facing an insurmountable problem, if you can use this to create that? Then we have Russell Simmons, the hip-hop mogul. He went from drug dealer to spiritual guru to saying, all the success is due to yoga, meditation, and what he calls staying on the grind or sticking to your principles. And I love one of his quotes from him, and he says, "I used to think anxiety and insomnia drove me to success, but it was the stillness that let me be good at anything. And when you extend the seconds of stillness, that's when you're able to think and learn." And then we have Tom Cruise. This dude is 50 years old. I don't know what he's doing to stay young, but it's working now. I'm just joking. Completely joking. I just threw that in for kicks. But anyway, let's go back to actually harnessing the powers invoked by all these extraordinary people. When you realize that the potential is within you already, that's the first step. Now check out this recent Facebook quote from Dalai Lama for another kind of critical clue. All the world's major religions, with their emphasis on love, compassion, patience, tolerance, and forgiveness, and can and do promote inner values. But the reality of the world today is that grounding ethics in religion is no longer adequate. This is why I'm increasingly convinced that the time has come to find a way of thinking about spirituality and ethics beyond religion altogether. Let's soak that in for a second. And don't focus on the religion part too much. Just focus on the fact that Dalai Lama, who belongs to one of the oldest institutions on Earth, is telling us to step outside of our comfort zones and start exploring what's within. And that's it. That's the key. All of these phenomena and all these rules and habits I've been talking to you about, think of them as pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. That is, nobody knows that this puzzle actually exists, so nobody's ever tried putting the pieces together. So even the people I just introduced you to only actually know parts of it. So imagine for a second, what kind of ridiculously amazing stuff could you pull off if you started exploring and stepping outside of your comfort zone and finding the big picture? Where would you be in your business? And what would your relationships be like? What kind of body would you have? What kind of lifestyle would you be designing for yourself? Well, what I'm about to show you is the result of me exploring those questions, piecing together every reality hack I know of, and creating a roadmap for you and anyone else to finally live that accomplished, empowered, satisfying, trailblazing life that you've always daydreamed of and always dream of every single night. Now, once I put this roadmap together, I stared at it, and I finally saw the world in a whole new light. My views on life, on business, on who I am, and what I am, they just shifted on the spot. And it was like that whoa moment that Neo had, like in the Matrix. Now, here's where it gets even wilder. The Sri Yantra. I've discovered that this symbol that I showed you earlier is that roadmap. In fact, this one symbol is the single most important key you'll ever have to manifesting like an unstoppable superhuman. Why? And how? Well, you see, what I've found is that every positive force, every natural phenomenon, and every geometrical, mathematical rule or law that you can tap into to get where you want to be in life is contained within the 9 levels of the Sri Yantra. Just to put it more clearly, just last week I was in Fairfield, Iowa. I interviewed John Hagelin, Dr. John Hagelin. He's a physicist, and he's been in The Secret, and he's been in What the Bleep, and he is a world-renowned doctor, and he's a physicist. He's a mathematician. I asked him about the Sri Yantra, and this physicist told me it is the symbol that contains everything. This just blew my mind. This just last week, a physicist, world-renowned physicist, and he says we're just starting to discover what this symbol means now. So strap in, guys. I'm going to take you through this deep dive visualization exercise where we're going to enter a deep state of mind and meditate on this Sri Yantra, the ancient symbol that holds all this stuff together. This is the exact mind exercise I use every single time I need some extra clarity or creativity or manifesting juice. And I credit this as one of the most useful reality hacks that has taken me to where I am today. But a word of warning, this exercise may be unlike anything you've ever tried in the past. If you've actually tried this is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be so amazing. Think of the answers that you have, or from the questions of the PDF as I go through these levels. Again, if you don't have these answers in front of you, that's okay. Answer them in your head as I go through them. I'm going to be asking you very specific questions. And this is a subconscious mind exercise. You can simply just see it as that. Okay? Okay, just relax a little bit. Make sure you're in a comfortable seated position to do this deep dive visualization. Place your hands on your knees and palms up to receive, or keep them in your lap, whatever is most comfortable for you. Keep your spine long, and as you take a deep breath in and exhale, you'll bring your visual focus to the Sri Yantra. And as you breathe here, begin to observe your now, this present moment. As you breathe into this quiet space that surrounds you, exhale to leave your thoughts outside of the stillness of your body and your mind. Nothing else matters except your breath right now, right here. This breath is your life force. It's your energy. As it flows through your nostrils and enters your lungs and belly, feel the abundant energy of the universe flowing through your body with no resistance, no weight, but as a vibrant light. And on your exhale, let out what no longer serves you anymore. Think of the answers that you wrote down in your PDF and feel the oxygen of your breath nourishing your cells and the energy stimulating the nerves along your spine. Find your own rhythm as you bring your focus to the Sri Yantra before you. Focusing on the first level of the Sri Yantra, breathe into your tailbone and breathe out any tension that you feel here. This level represents grounding and security in your life. It is connected to success. Here, you fully connect to your core with more vitality, courage, and self-confidence. Feeling this heightened awareness of your inner self or soul, visualize what will make you truly happy. Do you know what you really want in life? Take a deep breath in through your nose, and this time on the exhale, release the air through your mouth. You may start to feel your body temperature rise as the subtle energies rise within your body. And this is giving you focus and the strength you need to harness your truest desire in your life. So continue the rhythm of your breath, inhaling and exhaling slowly through your nostrils. Now find your breath at your sacral area. You're corresponding to the second level of the Sri Yantra here on the screen. It's in the middle of your pelvis. These petals represent the different forms of energies and powers through which your soul, your inner self, is connected to. It's what you actually understand and you interact with and explore the outside world with. So what do you want to create? This level represents sexual and creative energy. Breathe in and let the power of this level kind of flow creative energy and prosperity deep within you. And at the next in-breath, bring your focus to how you actually feel on a daily basis with those who surround you. Your friends, your family, your community. And as you explore these thoughts, breathe in the love and gratitude as the spark of creation gets ignited within you. And breathe out any toxins and distrust that you may feel. Continuing to allow your breath to be your activating tool, breathe in as this breath energy continues to move up your spine to your solar plexus behind your belly. This area is associated with the third level, the 8th lotus petal of the Sri Yantra, which contains powerful powers that are buried deep, lying dormant within you. You may start to feel a quivering sensation in your abdomen. Notice this sensation and return to your breath as your guide. Take control of this power within you. What do you need to do to make what you want happen? Now, you start to feel this energy and this deep sensation moving up towards your heart center. Breathe in an expansive opening breath and breathe out any stress that resides here. And just visualize the 14 triangles at this 4th level. And this is connected to your heart. This is where unconditional love resides. Imagine a green light surrounding your body as your own vital foundation, and breathe that in. Here, you are harnessing that very energy contained within your body to bring everything that you truly need to you. So who or what help do you need and do you want? And what do you need access to? Allow whatever emotions arise here to be present within you. You do not need to know why you feel what you feel in this moment. Just know that you are loved and accepted. And as you acknowledge these feelings, come back to the sound of my voice as you focus on your intention here in this very moment. You'll now begin to feel this energy moving faster in a circle as it moves up to the base of your neck and into your throat. This is the 5th level. You can see the 10 triangles on the screen. Start to imagine your breath flowing from your nostrils to your throat as a bright blue light. Let this light fill this area, cooling your throat down. As this cooling happens, blue energy flows through your throat. It helps you speak your truth and balance the flow of communication, wisdom, and learning all around you. What do you need to attract to actually implement what you want? As you envision all that you need, feel these powers converting you into a virtual magnet of truth. Now at the 6th level of the Sri Yantra, the 10 inner triangles, you may notice a flow of energy within you that leaves a sweet taste on the roof of your mouth. This is the sweet nectar of consciousness. At the next in-breath, exhale the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, scraping the palate softly. Feel the energy soften by giving you a resurgence of power as you heighten your awareness here. As these energies course through you, you feel a sense of protection arise. What protections do you need so you don't get knocked back down? It's a very important question. So continue to breathe into sweetness as you access the protections that you need to create what you desire. At level 7 of the Sri Yantra, let the breath be steady as you feel a deep indigo light expand into the space between your eyes. And breathe in your intuition here as you breathe out any negativity, any negative buildup here. What is affecting your life negatively? As you breathe in and out here, Notice the power of the 8 triangles eradicating the negativity and removing everything that has blocked you from what you desire. You may start to feel a tingling at your forehead here. Be aware of that sensation as your breath centers you and brings your energy to its upward motion towards the center of the crown of your head. This area is associated with the 8th level of the Sri Yantra, the primary inverted triangle. Breathe in deeply here. As you focus at this level and connect to your complete self, exhale as you detach from all illusions of your current reality that do not allow you to be fully happy. What would you need to accomplish to be truly happy? What current reality do you need to detach from in order to accomplish what you want? Let the flow of energy from head to toe and from toe to head coincide with your breath. It is here that you are given anything you wish to accomplish. Feel your new reality take root, where you have everything you want and you need. Mind, body, spirit, and wealth. And as the vibration settles throughout your body, let your breath be your guide here. Take slow breaths in and out. And now bring your focus to the center of the Sri Yantra, the central bindu. Let this focus penetrate your thoughts as clarity sweeps over your mind. This is the 9th level of the Sri Yantra, so allow truth to settle in. Are you completely clear, joyous, and blissful about what will make you the most happy? Yes, you know what will make you truly happy. And so continue to feel this breath and feel this bliss within you, and feeling your ties to the universe, to the wondrous ways it has conspired to you in your favor so far, to the beauty that surrounds you in this very moment, internally and externally. And take a deep exhale, and thank you very much. That was very powerful, and just a small part of what we can truly experience as human beings. And I want you to take notice what happens to your life over the next couple minutes, or over the next couple of days, weeks, months, just by doing this simple exercise with me right now. The universe has actually already started to work in your favor. Now, obviously, there are very subtle forces at work here. There are things happening while we went through this exercise that the universe already started putting together in your favor. For those of you that saw the Sri Yantra and started seeing 3D patterns and things that are moving around, and emotions came up and things started coming up along this exercise, you are already 90% there. For those of you that didn't feel much of that, that's okay. That's okay, because through this exercise and through this symbol, you will start seeing that. And it's a majority of everyone who can actually tap into these powers. Now, this isn't weird magic. It's science. The Sri Yantra has been proven to induce brain activity and increase neural pathways in your brain. It materially alters the shape of your brain so information can travel faster, quicker, and smarter. Now, that brings me to 2 big questions that people always ask me. How did you become so successful, and what's your secret sauce? And those 2 questions always get to me, because when I give people the answer, many people just don't believe me. Because the secret is that you already have the secret within yourself, and you just have to activate it. You know those crazy coincidences we all experience from time to time in our life? We have all experienced them at least once, some more than others, some of us every day. We really can't put our fingers on what it actually is, because it just feels like magic, right? It's those forces that are beyond us. It's those forces that we can't prove with science, but we can kind of get there. And we're starting to see that more and more of this proof is powers are outside of us, and it's what powers the inside of us, and exactly what each of us, every single one of us actually need. Because that is the magic. It's yourself. And I believe in this material and everything that I'm teaching you right now so much, and the process I've created so much, because it's been in the making my whole entire life. It was only about 17 years ago that I can actually start understanding what was going on. I've been practicing and using this symbol and everything contained within these reality hacks to manifest my life exactly how I want it. Here are some random pics of me of just throughout my life over the last 5, 6, 7 years of wearing the Sri Yantra as a necklace. And like I said, I have a tattoo of this on my back from when I was 21 years old. I didn't know what this meant when I was 21 years old. This is 12 years ago. I didn't know. I later found out what everything meant. And so you'll see it took me years to perfect this system, this game plan for unlocking my own inner magic and starting to reinvent my reality. Fact is, I'm lucky. And thanks to my past successes, I've had the time to really immerse myself in this stuff and to really go through the trial and error. Now that I've gone through it, I've gone through all the hard part, I want to give you the result. I want to give you a powerful, elegant, fun mind-body system that you can painlessly absorb into your daily routine to create unbelievable change in your life, your business, your passions, and everything that matters to you. And this thing that we're doing, this is going to be done in no other way that you've done before or any other tool that's ever been done before. Because this is like the culmination of everything that works and the elimination of everything that doesn't. Think of it like the best of album. So this system that I've created, I call it Project Yourself. And there's a dual meaning here. It's about projecting your untapped inner power and harnessing all the power around you for creating your ideal reality. And it's also project yourself, right? In the sense that it's all about you. Like project yourself to project yourself and project you to understand yourself, to figure out how to project yourself. So it's a dual meaning. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Project Yourself is an immersive home training program unlike any sort of material you've ever tried before. It's far more than just a bunch of videos or articles. It's a multimedia and multisensory experience made up of mind-blowing exercises, tools, and training sessions that engage your 6 senses, allowing you to tap into your inner and outer strength, which in turn makes you into a satellite dish for abundance. And soon enough, you'll have a lot more of those crazy positive coincidences or synchronicities that other people would call sheer luck. Now, I'm explaining to you what this means. Remember those 9 levels of the Sri Yantra I mentioned to you earlier? Well, that's how this program is arranged. There's one section for every single level. Each one is packed with priceless guidance for fulfilling the purpose of that level. The first time you use the program, all you need to do is go through each of the levels in order. Just watch the tutorials, commit yourself to trying the exercises and tools, and master each level with a powerful project work exercise that will lock in your intention. And once you do this, I promise you'll see remarkable results to start manifesting within days, weeks, and months that follow. And you can't go wrong with this stuff because this is exactly what the world's most successful visionaries, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and like movers, shakers, and things that I've used in my life. So I've taken my stuff and previous visionaries and experts to use it to change their lives and change the planet. It's like a proven way to align yourself with the collective energy of everything. Now, here's what makes this program really special. Project Yourself isn't like a book or a video course, and it's not designed for you to go through this once from start to finish and then leave on your shelf to collect dust. Instead, think of it like a treasure chest, because after you use it for the first time, you can reach in and use the parts of it that are most relevant to you in your life. Like if you need to solve a problem at work, or find a way to grow your business, or to solve the disagreement you have with your spouse, kids, boss, or employee, or whatever. In fact, aside from that, it's even designed for you to use from back to front. The way you'll decide to utilize it depends on whether you need to evolve or involve, and this is done in order to get what you desire. Well, what's that, you ask? Well, involve, let's say like you're most of us. You don't really know what's at the core of what will really make you happy. And come on, how many of us really know, really being honest, what's going to make us happy at its root? In this case, you'll be able to explore your outer reality by starting at level 1 and making your way to the heart of what you desire at level 9, and this is involution. Alternatively, if you honestly know what you want and you just can't figure out how to actually get it done or what you're doing wrong, you'll start at the innermost level 9 and work your way outward through the process, delving into exploring outwardly to figure out just what needs to be done so you can finally obtain what you desire. At its core, Project Yourself is a collection of experiences and insights so mind-expanding, they'll see a permanent mark in your conscious and subconscious mind and force you to change your perspective on reality for the better. And it doesn't matter if you consider yourself the spiritual type or more of a hard fact, scientific kind of person, because Project Yourself actually straddles the line between tangible and the intangible. And it hits that sweet spot between the known and the unknown. And it gives you real results that you can feel, see, and touch. Now, if you're ready to join, you can go to projectyourself.com/join to start checking it out now. Now, there's still more content that I'm going to be really getting into here, so if you're ready to order, you're ready to check this out, if you're ready to commit yourself. I know there's a lot of you who are at this point. The chat roll has been going crazy, so people are interacting. Go and check it out. I'm still going to continue training you guys, so please, yeah, do stick around also. What Project Yourself is designed to do is create new neural networks and pathways within your brain so they sink deep into your subconscious. Your subconscious knows how to get what it wants, but your conscious mind doesn't allow it because it thinks too much. Project Yourself makes you aware of both and kind of allows you to get into your subconscious and work on the conscious level. It's really powerful stuff. Here's just a fraction of the experiences and insights you're going to get to look forward to in this program. Throughout the program, you'll learn how to invoke your 5 senses, plus your 6th sense of intuition to achieve a higher state of consciousness and experience sensations, emotions, and outcomes you never thought possible, whether it's at work, in your health, or in your relationships. You might have tried a few methods of doing this before, but, like meditation and visualization, but this is nothing like that. We're going to put you into different scenarios, like specifically engineered audio to drift upwards into a more relaxed state of mind, or color psychology to focus on the image that puts your entire life into clarity, or honing on like intuition to a level that's so sharp you know exactly what the person kind of you're talking to really feels about what you're saying. And so having this wide spread of wisdom and using it for like different parts of your life, you see how this whole entire thing is coming together now, right? The whole brain piece, this whole piece. What we've done is put together a system that ties in your 6 senses, that ties into your endocrine system, that ties into all the different levels of this instrument of creation. The Sri Yantra translated means instrument of creation. I'm sorry I forgot to mention that, but it's very powerful to understand that's what it means. You're also going to learn specific ways to breathe. In level 1, for instance, you'll learn a powerful breathing exercise that vaporizes your stress and fills you with instant rush of well-being, all through simply breathing slowly and channeling a sense of gratitude. This one's great for when you're trying to calm down and get into some clarity when things at work or wherever are kind of like overwhelming you. In level 2, I'm going to train you how to master the phenomenon called sexual transmutation, or in Sanskrit, vairagya. This essentially means going within and drawing on your purest, most primal source of energy, your raw personal magnetism, and using that energy to fuel your creative expression, whether you're making a piece of art or studying a particular skill or figuring out how to nail a business deal or solve a problem. You ever see a celebrity or TV or meet a person that just seems to vibrate with this undeniable presence and power? That someone has consciously or subconsciously learned how to transmute their sexual energy. How do you do this? Well, I'm going to plunge you head first into an immersive exercise using your muscles, your breath, and visualization to focus your energy in your core and then amplify it. And then transmute it outwards into anything you want to create. Trust me, this one exercise alone, if you put it to use, is going to give you breakthrough results in whatever you unleash it on. It's truly, truly powerful. In level 3, you'll learn a little-known art of spiral breathing. Now, I know a lot of meditation gurus have their own version of breathing exercises. Just wait till you try this one. It lets you tap into the energy centers in your body, also known as chakras, and we also use what is commonly referred to as the golden spiral. Now, the golden spiral is very powerful. It's a very important piece of the Sri Yantra, and it's a very, very important piece of mathematical coincidence of the universe. It's a universal law of the universe. And it lets you channel more energy into different parts of your life whenever you need a boost, whether it's health-related, sexual-related, financial, professional, anything. We're quite literally just on the cusp of discovering all this technology, and I'm so happy and just so grateful to share it with you. So let's continue here. In level 4, we'll dive into the science known as heart math, which is a tool for evolving your heart's intelligence. It's not about cardiac care or calculus or anything like that. It's about how your heart's intelligence, the 40,000 neurons and intuitive signals your heart sends, like love and happiness and care, these things all positively affect your emotions and health, especially when it comes to handling stress. And heart math shows you what you can do to balance your heart rhythms, reduce stress hormones, and boost your immune system. Did you know that the electromagnetic pulse of your heart can be measured up to 1 mile away, while the electromagnetic pulse of your brain only a couple hundred feet away? Well, there's a reason for that. In level 5, you learn something that's a little unusual, but surprisingly powerful. It's called chanting. Now, these chants that we give you, some of them are very new, such as different statements that you can use, and some of them are ancient. And we've started studying these different ancient chants, and we realized that they hit different parts of your brain when you are chanting some of these ancient texts. And they hit different parts of your brain, controlling different parts of your endocrine system. Now, remember what we were talking about earlier. Now, what this allows you to do is strengthen, give you strength within yourself. It's with health and abundance and love, and just to name a few. Now, don't worry. You don't have to sing these things like a chant or anything like that. You can simply just chant them internally, and you can chant them out loud just a little bit. And this science is called somatics, for any of you that may be interested in that. It's really, really powerful. Somatics is the physical representation of a vibration. So very, very, very powerful information. The next thing we're going to cover a little bit in this program is fearlessness, or being fearless, I should say. You'll learn how to confront fear head-on, get out into the open, and tap into a new reality. If you remember this guy who jumped out of the edge of the earth, imagine jumping out at the edge of the earth, 128,000 feet above earth, and he broke the sound barrier with his body. That's just kind of crazy. That's pretty fearless. So we cover a lot of getting into fearless and just getting rid of that, because fear is nothing. Fear doesn't exist. Fear is a form of energy that has taken you over. So if you feel fear towards anything, it's because you're not addressing it head on. You're not looking at it from a perspective of clarity. You're looking at it from a perspective of it's going to do something to you. And if you can pull yourself out of that, you can achieve anything you want in your life. Then we have food programming. Level 7, we talk about food programming. Now, food programming is amazing. There have been several studies done that programming water by Dr. Emoto, there have been several studies that you can actually program water. Water is programmable. It holds a structure. It holds memory. And if you're putting that into your body, what's going to happen? Well, our bodies are made up of 60 to 70% water, and our hearts are composed of 73% water, and your pineal gland, think about this, is filled with water. Babies and kids also have more water as a percentage than adults, so consider the effects. We talk about food programming, food and water, and how to program food and water if you just state intentions to them. Very, very powerful. We dig into this a little bit more around level 7 of Project Yourself. Think about what we're doing. We're working on a physiological, mental, emotional, spiritual, educational level. In level 7, we're also going to talk about lucid dreaming and how to use lucid dreaming. I use lucid dreaming very often. Lucid dreaming, I will admit, is one of those things that's an interesting topic. It's a gift and a curse, because you can use it when you want. You don't realize you're dreaming, but you're kind of consciously awake, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm up, and I'm doing stuff. And you're creating these dreams, and you're like, wow, okay. So we spend 1/3 of our life dreaming. And if you spend 1/3 of your life dreaming, you're not just doing that for any reason. There's a new study that proves your brain is actually cleaning itself and going over what it learned the previous day or 2 days or weeks or months and figuring out better ways to live life. So your brain is actually getting smarter at night. Think about that. So lucid dreaming is very, very powerful. Next thing we're going to talk about is a phenomenon, an extremely potent phenomenon, and that's sacred geometry. This phenomenon is mysterious and transformational to anyone who finds its secrets. The basic concept is that there are recurring mathematical symbols and sequences found everywhere around us, in man-made buildings like the Parthenon, and even in the UN headquarters, in nature, in shells, in galactic swirls, and even in you. So tapping into these symbols and sequences not only balances your energy fields, but can also help your mind access complex information in order to reinvent your reality. Just wait, and you'll start, just wait on this. You'll start seeing Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio and golden swirls, all the stuff I'm talking about everywhere in nature. It's truly powerful. Okay, one more thing you're going to learn, and this is truly one of my favorite tools. It's an exercise that turns you into what I call a human satellite dish, or a magnifying glass. And it quite literally activates your third eye, or you get to channel your energy and you get to direct it where you want it to go. And I know that sounds a little weird, but this exercise alone is 50 times stronger than any typical manifesting or visualization exercise you'll ever actually find. All you have to do is sit and hold your hands in a certain way and focus your thoughts and follow what I mentioned in this level. But it's a very, very powerful exercise that is 50 times stronger just by holding your hands in a very specific prayer position. Truly, truly powerful, scientifically proven and tested, because I need to prove this stuff to myself. I need to also prove it to you as well, because this is everything that I have gone through and turned into a system for you. If you are ready to check it out, you can check out projectyourself.com/join. Yes, there are some more slides I'm going to be going after this content, this webinar. I am just sharing as much as I can with you. I really do hope to see you guys on the inside. You know, we have a great community, and there's, okay, well, I'll get to it. Let's continue here. Level 8, you'll find a highly useful problem-solving exercise inspired by Napoleon Hill called the round table exercise. All you have to do is sit down with someone else or a group of people and follow a specific set of brainstorming steps to light up a question that most of us spend our lives chasing. What in life can give me lasting happiness? And you can ask anything you want to these group of people. And this exercise alone is worth its weight in gold because of the clarity and the peace of mind it can give you. And you do this exercise by just simply surrounding yourself with a specific set of people and asking them questions, and then writing down their answers. Really, really, really powerful stuff. One of the core concepts you'll learn about in level 9 is what I like to call the gateway to creation, the pineal gland. Studies show that this little gland, which is located in your brain, along with the thalamus and the pituitary gland and the other glands that are very, very important, but those three are crucial to everything that you do, and your thalamus as well. It's located in your brain. It's the key to accessing, the pineal gland specifically, is the key to accessing higher state of consciousness. And according to some, it's also the key to tapping into alternate versions of reality and being able to detach yourself from yourself, basically, and achieving a monk-like state of serenity when faced with the toughest possible challenges. The information you'll learn from accessing your pineal gland will make all of this possible for you. Another thing you'll learn in level 9 is how to use the ancient science of astrology to tap into different energy frequencies of other planets to give yourself the best possible chance of success whenever you need to stack the odds in your favor, or when you're looking for that positive coincidence to nudge you over the edge towards a goal. Yeah, I know that not everyone believes in astrology. It's a bit of a controversial issue. But as J.P. Morgan once said, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. In my experience, you know, nothing could be more true. The planets have been around for billions of years. The stars have been around for billions of years. Humans, as far as we can really think back a couple thousand years, there is some truth to that, the planets and the stars. Okay, one more fascinating subject we'll touch upon in level 9 is quantum mechanics and physics, and how to get downloads of timeless wisdom from the universe. Let me tell you, once you follow the steps to start getting these downloads, these things are going to start coming at you uncontrollably. And you could be meditating, or you could be typing out an email, and bam, you kind of like suddenly hit with this realization that puts your whole entire career or marriage or, like, you know, philosophy into perspective, and you're just like, whoa, wow, thank you. And so if all of this resonates with you, if you'd like to be one of the first people in the world to experience this wisdom, then I invite you to take this journey with me. And how it works is once you join, I'll release a new level of this program once every single week through a private membership area. You'll be following along with our community of peers, and I'll guide you through every single step of the journey with continuous emails and tutorials. It's as good as having me by your side as a personal mentor. And together, you're going to see just how far this roadmap can take you. Each week for the 9 weeks of the Project Yourself, you'll get a set of videos, you'll get a set of deep dive exercises, PDF workbooks, and an audio FAQ session to master one particular level of the Sri Yantra. I'll even be introducing some surprise experts to dig in even deeper on the subjects that we cover. Now, you know, this isn't like a contest. You don't have to do one every single week. You can take your own time. You can go as fast as you want. You can go as slow as you want. That's the beauty about Project Yourself. How far will this take me, you ask? Well, check out some of these messages I get on an every single day basis from people who are already taking this journey with me. Bear in mind, I get notes like this every single day. Since we started this journey about 160 days or so ago, almost half a year, we've gotten in the first 90 days over 25 pages of testimonials. amongst videos and case studies and all kinds of stuff. So truly, truly powerful. I couldn't be more grateful in my life that this is working and people are achieving their results. So I'm looking for a tribe of committed people. So before you say yes or no to my invitation, just remember that I want to build a tribe of people who are fiercely committed to living their greatest lives. I want you to be hungry for epic achievements in your life. I want you to change not just your own life so you can buy nice things and live in a nice house, but so you can make an impact, change how things are done. And I need you to be open-minded enough to adopt new practices and give up the old ones that don't serve you anymore. And if that's not you, I'd recommend skipping this and maybe reading a book or going to a seminar instead or something like that. But if you'd like to join me on this journey and you're a cultural fit for this close-knit tribe that I'm building of hundreds of people that are manifestors, we're creating people who are creating things in their life for the positive. This community is so amazing and so powerful. What the energy that's surrounding this project, this energy that's surrounding this company is amazing. If you'd like to join me on this journey on your cultural fit for this close-knit tribe, I'd like you to join me at projectyourself.com/join. It's $297. Is that a good deal? Well, I'm not sure. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence by telling you to imagine how priceless this wisdom is when you apply it to your career, your business, your relationships, your health. If you've come this far, you already know that. It's pretty clear. I mean, right? Here's exactly what you're going to get when you enroll in this program. You're going to get a lifetime of unlimited access and guidance to this entire 9-part home training program, packed with training videos, mind exercises, priceless actionable wisdom. One part will be released every single week on our high-tech private online community area. The community was built from the ground up and will continue to grow and evolve just like you. Once all the parts are out, you can use them in any order that you like and whenever you want. You get a total of 9 printable PDFs that you can use. You can print out. You get to fill them out for every single level, kind of like you did with this. And each PDF is packed. Like some PDFs are like 50 pages, 60 pages. I've dumped so much information in this. People have told me that they've learned so much in this that they've completely shifted the way that they've thought, and they're manifesting at incredible rates. People are manifesting one thing, health. I mean, I can't even explain it. People are getting deals in business, from like real estate to like to building houses to coaching to, I mean, oh my God, it's like, it's wild. It's all over the place. It's amazing, actually. You're going to get access to the multimedia tools. You get all the sensory exercises. You can track your progress. I've built this so that you can get the best possible outcome. I don't want to build anything that is not going to achieve that. I've built multiple businesses before in the past. I've done this multiple times. I've brought companies to the Inc. 500. I've generated over $20 million in revenue in my businesses in the past. And so this is a way for all of that knowledge of manifesting and everything, of creating this life, actionable items that you can use in your everyday life. And you get lifetime access to the community so you can connect, collaborate, and become friends with other driven reality hackers just like yourself. And that's really where the true power comes in. Forget about me. Think about the people on the inside of the community. Wow. They are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. And as a way of me, thanking you for being one of the first couple, people in the world taking this journey with me. Actually, I should say, not the first couple people, the first couple 100 people so far. Incredible results. I'm also going to give you some priceless bonuses. I'm not going to put any dollar values behind any of this stuff. This is really just awesome stuff. You're going to get free bonus guest training sessions with world-class experts to dig in even deeper into the subjects we're going to cover. Skyrocket your personal evolution with advanced face-to-face online trainings from hand-picked selection of experts and reality hackers just like myself. And these are, business and lifestyle architects, yoga masters, sound healers, NASA scientists, longevity experts, astrologers, physicists. I mean, I'm going around and I'm interviewing these people, and if you know anything about me, or if you followed me in the past, or people know me, and this is what I do, and I share this information. You're also going to get free isochronic alpha music tracks produced by popular sound healer Neeraj Nayak for entering in deeper state of mind. These are done with binaural beats and isochronic tones. Basically, your brain is your physical response to everything is controlled by your brain, so we have to get into that state. So every level is packed with these background music and this deeper state that you can get into with these different exercises and audios. Oh, and as an extra special bonus, as soon as you confirm your spot, I'm going to wrap up and mail you something in the mail. This is a powerful device. This powerful device, physical tool, will, it's been used by many of the world's most respected mystics and scientific explorers to gain favorable outcomes. I'm not joking about this. And they can use this to create their reality. So I'm sending you something in the mail that will actually catapult this to new levels. Oh, one more thing. I love rewarding decisive people. We decided that we want to do something different. We want to make this the best, most active community. So when we want to do that, we want to reward the first 100 participants, because when you become one of the first 100 people to book Project Yourself on this webinar, we'll give you a special, seriously, I'm going to do this just for you guys. I'm going to give you an early bird bonus package from myself. And I'm going to give you live online group coaching sessions. And these are completely, I'm just throwing them in. Well, they're usually announced the week of, and you'll get an invite, and we get to jam. You get to ask me any questions about what you're learning, and it's live one-on-one. It's really, really cool. You get to become live one-on-one with some of the other members, and we'll connect with each other in a close, intimate setting. So this is an extremely useful asset of previous calls and future calls and things that you can tap into. And, of course, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I have no reason to take your money. If you're not satisfied for any reason, I'll give you your money back. It's $297, like I mentioned before. If you're ready to go, projectyourself.com/join. Looks like we have tons of members already who are joining. Thank you to the new tribe members, Tanisha, Hazel, Stephen, Jerry, Ellen. Thank you guys all for joining. This is going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing journey. You clearly have nothing to lose here. I am here to deliver this message. My message is to deliver this and to let manifestors create what they want in their life and turn it into a repetitive thing and use the power of the Sri Yantra to bend reality, to hack reality, and to bend time, and to get into the weirdness of the universe and make it bend to your will and do what you want it to do. When you want something or you need something, make it happen. If you can find out how to do that, this is how to do that. This program strategically creates the steps you need to do to manifest what you want. And it's done through this series. It's done through this program. I'm just grateful for being here. Thank you for everything. Thank you guys for being on the call. Projectyourself.com/join. The fact that you're here on this webinar this long shows to me that you're serious. It shows to me that you're ready to take your life to the next level. I've been sharing the Sri Yantra with friends for a couple of years now, right? And every single one of them has since seen major changes in their life, their businesses, and relationships. They're easily able to manifest more, but not many of them actually went through the whole entire system, and so that I just talked about. And so this is something truly, truly massive. This is a shift in your mind, in time, and in space. It quite literally is that whole entire shift. This system will quite literally create a new breed of superhumans with supernatural powers, all based on ancient teachings in a modern way with modern science to utilize them. From teleporting to bending time and space to healing devices that we're working on in our company right now, to astral projection, to losing weight, to hypnotism, to becoming smarter, the possibilities are endless. Project Yourself and the Sri Yantra, the symbol itself, are amazing. And we're just scratching the surface. Thank you guys so very much for being on the call. If you are ready to join, please go to projectyourself.com/project. There's a little recap on there. Projectyourself.com/project. Again, just a little recap. It goes over what it's about. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. We'll talk soon.